Hi there, I'm John Shields, and welcome to another episode and another season of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. Yes, we're in season 2. I mean, who would have thought we got there so quick? It's almost like Netflix. And we're happy to have you back with us. It's been quite the time. We did have a little bit of down, I don't know, a month or two while we were regrouping. But this season, we have all kind of cool things coming up, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So for the next 6 months, get ready, get out all your pots and pans, and off we go. So I don't know about you. I got the dishwasher back here, but I think we have just collectively finished our dishes from Thanksgiving. And you know what that means, don't you? It means the holiday season is on big time. So we figured, it's December 1st, our Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. This is our holiday show, and we're going to look at all kinds of things to do about locavore shopping, shopping locally, small, and obviously some foodie gifts that you can, that you can give to all of your loved ones. During this episode, you're going to see we're going to go to a farmer's market to see how we could kind of come up with some of those gifts. And to do it, I figured we needed somebody who really knows how to make some of those cool things that we could put in jars. So I got on that telephone and I called up Pam Miller of Charlottetown Farm, one of my favorite places and one of my favorite people, to come on and show us one of her special recipes that people actually line up to get this particular item. You'll see. It's a part of it's a surprise, so we gotta do that. And then you might not think that we can work Old Bay into this show, but we can, and we can make it a holiday item to boot. So anyway, I think it's time. I'm ready. If you're ready. We need to get this party started, and we need to get the holidays started. And you know what? I couldn't do it without my executive sous chef, also the CEO of Harford County Public Library, but the executive sous chef, Mary Hassler. Mary, come on in here.
Happy holidays.
Hey, happy
it's
holidays.
Awesome to be here.
We're back.
We're back.
For season 2.
It seems like we were gone a long time, but we really weren't.
We
were in pre-production for season 2.
We were. You have to think about these things,
yes.
Actually.
And did you like the new name, Chesapeake?
I like that.
Everybody, isn't that nice?
Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. We were thinking, this is where we live. Mm-hmm. This is where we are located. And everything and most of the bounty that we use in this kitchen when we do this class is from the Chesapeake.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Just love it.
So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing, isn't it?
I agree. I totally agree. Well, we've had lots of pots
We
tonight.
have so much going on here. And this is your pot right now that you're working on. And so, when we're talking about locavore cooking or locavore shopping, I think it's all about, we all get crazy. We're online. We had the Cyber Monday and we had the Black Friday and the yada, yada, yada.
And Small Business Saturday.
And Small Business Saturday. I hope you were out there. But I think that's what we're trying to promote, that idea of working with your local small shops and your local farmers. You might not think that you can do presents through your local farmers, but you can.
I so agree with you. And my credit cards will show that when they come in next month. Yes.
You did one hell of
a
job at that farmer's market. But that credit card, it was flying.
It was flying.
So you can do the shopping. You can shop local at a farmer's market to get most of the Christmas gifts that you would like to get.
Oh, I love what I bought. I can't wait to wrap them. And I have things for the grandkids and for my sister and my daughters. And it's amazing. It really is amazing what you can buy. And the prices are really good.
Yeah.
So I'm just joking about the credit cards. The prices are really amazing. So, and I'm from Baltimore, so we're always looking for bargains.
Exactly. So anyway, the way we started this whole thing is we got up early, right?
Yes, we did.
And we headed off to the farmer's market. So let's take a look at where we were. Holiday season at our local farmers markets has begun big time, and they are the perfect spot to find locally made foodie gifts for all your friends and family. Mary Hassler and I made our way to the 32nd Street Waverly Farmers Market in North Baltimore on a bright yet chilly Saturday morning to begin our holiday shopping. It's loads of fun strolling around the market, chatting with vendors and coming up with ideas for gifts. And it's pretty easy to do. Just gather some gift bags and start stuffing them with a collection of edibles and locally crafted artisan products. You'll find everything from handmade soaps, containers with herb blends for cooking, cheeses of all varieties, and almost local olive oil, hand-pressed apple and pear ciders, fruit preserves, signature hot sauces, and even distilled spirits from Maryland. For a list of farmers markets and farm stands near your neighborhood, check out the Maryland's Best website, which is marylandsbest.net. Or if you live in Virginia, check out virginia.org/farmers markets. It's all part of the Buy Local movement, which is sweeping the country. Remember, when we shop small and support our farmers and small businesses, it's a win-win for our local communities and the greater Chesapeake economy. So grab a bag and let's get shopping for the holidays. Well, that was quite a shopping trip, wasn't it?
It was a little chilly, but it was amazing. And we had so much fun doing that.
It was fun.
It's an experience. It
really
is.
It really is. And after you go around and you get your little bags and you're putting all the kinds of different things in there, you actually can eat there too. They have all kinds of pastries and
pizza.
And the pizza, the wood-fired pizza. So, you know, it's not a bad thing to do, to get out there. So again, you know, when you and I were walking around, and I love chatting with all the farmers and the people that make the different spices and the foods and the craft soaps, all kinds of things. It's really very, very cool. We headed back to one of our favorite stands where we always are, Charlottetown Farm. Charlottetown Farm specializes in local goat cheese, and they just do a marvelous job. And my restaurant, Gertrude's Chesapeake Kitchen, uses their goat cheese and so many things. And we even feature their goat cheese cheesecake that Pam makes right at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got on the horn. We called up Pam Miller of Charlottetown and said, could you come on and help us and show us how to make that secret caramel sauce that everybody loves? You know what she said? She said yes.
Of course you would say yes. She loves us.
All right, here's, ladies and gentlemen, it is Pam Miller. Come on in here.
It's so good to see you again.
Welcome to another night high above Baltimore as we do our cooking. Well, thanks very much for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We love having you here in our kitchen. So let's make sure that we're not, that this is cooking to
That's good.
the thing that
That's
you
good.
like.
Yeah.
All right. So we're making something that I love, and I've actually given as gifts to people. And we've used on the cheesecake before. You can use this on desserts. You can rub it on your face. I've taken a bath with it. I put some in my bath water.
It's good for the complexion, I think.
It's really good. And it's called Cajeta.
Cajeta.
Cajeta. Now I always put in parentheses caramel sauce. So what is Cajeta? Where does it come? Where does that name come from?
So it's a South American origin. So Cajeta is goat milk caramel sauce.
Yeah.
So if you've heard of dulce de leche,
Yes.
this is the goat version of dulce de leche.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Dulce de leche is made with cow's milk,
Yeah.
and Cajeta is made with goat milk.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, I looked up some of the background of it and looked at some of the different recipes, and I knew that that it was of South American origin, but didn't realize that the distinguishing factor is the goat milk.
Is the milk.
Yes,
Yes.
so that's
Mhm,
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if people around here in our metropolitan area, let's say they wanted to make it,
Mhm.
how do they get goat milk?
The Amish farmers market.
Amish
Yes,
farmers
yes.
market. And
There's,
where is that?
There's one in Joppa and there's
Uh-huh.
one in Hunt Valley. And then if you
Oh,
want
yeah, I've been to
to
that one.
venture up
All right.
to Pennsylvania, they have one just north of Shrewsbury.
So you
Uh-huh.
can actually make your very own authentic
Yes.
authentic
Mhm,
cajeta.
mhm.
Can people make it with whole milk? I mean, it wouldn't be cajeta, but
It
could
would-
they make kind of
Oh.
like a dulce de leche?
Yes, it would be dulce de leche if they just change the milk into cow's milk.
But they could
Mhm.
still use your recipe.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is one
Mhm,
versatile
mhm.
recipe.
Yeah, very,
All
very
right.
interchangeable.
All right,
Yes.
well,
Mhm,
let's explain
mhm.
how we would be doing this.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. So we
We have a pot
we
here.
have a
Get-
pot here and we put 1 gallon of whole milk in.
We already have some
Mhm.
in here.
Okay.
So is a stainless pot better?
Yes, stainless pot's better. It just conducts the heat better.
Okay.
Yeah,
And just you really do have to watch and stir it.
Yeah.
Because if
Okay.
you don't, it will burn.
Okay.
And I have burnt many a batch of cajeta.
yeah.
And
Okay.
sometimes you have to throw the pot away because it's that burnt.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what you do is you start out at a very low temperature.
Okay.
Put the milk in, then you get your milk to a little bit higher temperature.
Mhm.
Right.
And then you then put the sugar in. So I know this looks like a lot of sugar, but
It
that's
does
what-
look like a lot of
yes.
sugar. But it
That's a lot
is-
of
it
sugar,
is-
but it is caramel.
It's a caramel
Yes,
sauce.
so it's caramelized sugar. So you're putting 5 cups of sugar in. And you're going to combine that. And then we're going to put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Wow.
Here you go.
There we go.
Thank you.
I love these, John. My
Mhm.
mom had a set just like that.
What are the
Mhm.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, Gertie had them as well, my grandmother.
Mhm.
Aw.
So I love that.
All right. So 2 teaspoons of
Vanilla.
vanilla. And then we put a little pinch of baking soda in.
Baking
And that's
soda.
baking
Well, explain
soda.
a pinch.
Yes.
A
pinch
pinch.
is a very kind of generous between your fingers.
Okay.
So
Probably,
That always
probably
confuses
like
me.
a
Yeah.
16th
yeah.
of a teaspoon.
Oh, that's really what it
Is
is.
it?
Yeah, it would be about
All right.
16.
And that's
Wow.
baking
But
soda.
I
Okay.
personally would just use my
Mhm.
finger
Yeah,
and put a
right,
pinch in.
right.
I think
So
it's
what
a
does the
pinch.
baking
Yeah.
soda do?
So the baking soda more makes it more smooth and it
Okay.
helps keep
Okay.
the lumps out and it also helps keep it from boiling up.
Ah.
So
Okay.
it's the acidity.
Well, and it has that
Um,
silky
mhm.
feel to it. If you've
Yes.
ever
Mhm.
cleaned with it or
Mhm.
anything.
Yep.
Okay.
So then you combine all of this
Yeah,
and then you kind of bring it up to a simmer. And if you're going to be right there,
yeah,
Mhm.
you can let it really kind of simmer very aggressively.
yeah.
If you need to leave the room,
And
Okay.
put it
then
way
you
down.
put it way down.
Okay.
And it cooks for a really long time,
Okay.
6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
Oh.
But if
okay.
you're going to be there and you want to kind of bump up the heat a little bit, you can knock it down to about 4 hours. But
I see.
I only make this for about 3 months out of the year
Uh-huh.
because it makes the dairy kitchen very, very hot and humid in the summer.
Okay.
And it changes the flavor of the cheese in not a great way.
Wow.
Oh,
So that's why
okay.
my customers are like, okay, it's Cajeta season
Oh,
because it's getting
They
chilly.
know.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, they know.
okay.
My customers they wait for this Cajeta. There's a
Oh my
gentleman
gosh.
at the Catonsville Farmers Market that buys 6 jars at a time because he'll say, how much do you have back there? And I'll say, oh, it's a lot. Oh, I'll
Okay.
take 6 jars. And he gets it for his sister. So
Oh.
yeah, she must eat a lot of caramels.
She likes that.
I think she drinks it.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't disagree with that.
Right, right. Yeah.
Well, the ingredients are pretty simple.
They are.
I mean,
very
it's
simple.
not like
Mhm.
a really complicated
no,
recipe.
mm-mm,
So
no.
really, it seems to me it's more about the care
It is.
of
Mhm.
of actually tending the cajeta.
Yes, yes.
As opposed
Mhm.
to putting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ingredients of the
It's
tequila
not a
together.
fast, it's not something that's attained quickly.
Right.
And it's
Okay.
just, you really have to have a heavy eye on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with goat milk, when you cook it, it brings out that tanginess.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's like a tang or what I call a goatee
Yes.
A
flavor.
goaty flavor.
So it has at the very end that finish, and you can
Yeah.
always tell if it's goat or if it's cow. So if it's the Cajeta, you'll have that finish at the end.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
So since we didn't really want to turn this into the 6-hour show tonight. I mean, we do have some speed cameras.
Yeah.
We can do things quickly. Pam was gracious enough to get a cajeta started.
Yep,
And
yep.
so we can
Yep,
work
move
on that
that.
next. So I'll get rid of
Alrighty.
this. I'll get
Okay.
Miss Josie, darling. Thank you.
And
Alrighty.
that just looks luscious.
So if you can kindly get me the chinois over
Oh, the
there.
chinois.
Chinois. Ooh, what's
A
that?
chinois sounds like something that
Fancy.
you polish furniture with, but it's not.
Oh, yes. I love that.
So we have this finish. So when you can really tell when it's finished, it kind of looks like fluffy, like cotton candy kind of
Okay.
thing.
Oh,
So I
wow.
just turned it off, but it's and you could let it go a little thicker or leave it like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it gets quite thick, then you can't even pour it. And to me, that's
That's like a caramel
it's-
candy
right.
almost.
It's a little
Okay.
much. So so with this, what you do is you just pour it through the chinois, which is a would you have
Well, let's talk about the chinois.
Yeah,
okay, let's talk about the
The
chinois.
chinois
Mhm.
is basically, it's a cylindrical kind of thing,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you'll find them mostly in restaurants
Yes.
or in
Mhm.
commercial food things. So my question, obviously, there's multiple strains like of a strainer. It's relatively,
screen.
it's like a
Yeah.
screen.
Mhm.
It's relatively fine.
Mhm.
But I think maybe if you had a sieve
Mhm.
that had a texture
Oh, you
like
could.
this,
You
that
could
you
definitely
that you
use
could
that. So you wouldn't need to
you
really
don't
have
have
that.
to get a chinois, or
Or-
could you use
Yes.
cheesecloth?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ah,
we brought some
okay.
cheesecloth
Mhm.
here too, and I just was
Thank you.
Mhm.
gonna show the
Gotcha.
folks
Oh,
at
that's a
home.
How
good
to
idea.
do it.
Yep.
That's
So
great.
that you could
Mhm.
also just use, the cheesecloth.
Yep.
And sometimes we have some kind of cylinders that maybe aren't so fine.
Right.
Mhm.
And then we
Mhm.
just lay the cheesecloth in it
There you
and
go.
it
Yeah.
makes it, so you
Yeah.
can do that
You
as
can.
well.
You can.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
So-
you.
So, all right.
We're gonna do that then. All right. So we are
Gonna pour.
pouring that in here.
See
I'm
what's
gonna splash it.
coming through.
Yes.
Chinois working.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
There we go.
smells good.
Mm.
And then all you really need to do is to get every last bit out is just kind of,
Get the bits.
yep.
Mm.
It
Get
just
the
kind
bits.
of, and there it goes.
So what do you, all right, so what are some of the ideas of what, that you use it
Yes.
with? What are some
So,
of recipe
ideas to use it with?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see, a couple local restaurants put it in their coffee drinks.
I was
So,
just
yeah,
thinking about
yep,
that.
yep,
This would be
uh-huh,
a great
yep.
drink.
Yes, yes. So they put it in their coffee drinks. It's great, of course, with ice cream,
Mhm.
apple pie, bread pudding, and apples.
Oh, you could
Yeah,
just
yes,
dip them in.
Yes.
Ah.
Oh my God,
Yep, yep.
it's almost
Mhm.
like having a caramel apple.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
A
So at the-
cajeta caramel
Right,
apple.
yeah, so at the farmer's market, we have a little sign that tells people what to use it
What
with,
to do.
and then we give out samples. Sometime we just started giving out samples of just this item because I only make it for 3
Sure.
months.
Right.
And everybody's curious because they don't know
But it
what
is.
what it is.
Yeah.
So when we give a sample, most people, they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever had. And then there's the occasional person that doesn't like that goaty flavor.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, nope, not for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So
Well, it's beautiful.
yeah, it's really pretty and it
And it
smells,
smells
good.
so
Yes.
good.
It
Oh
does.
my
It
gosh.
smells delightful.
So we're going to spoon some in the jar. And this really does make great gifts because it's something that it just, somebody, I'm making a mess of it, but
Oh, it's okay.
We can always clean these
Yes,
things,
we
right?
Yes,
can.
that's great. So,
Oh,
but
that's
it makes a
delightful.
really nice gift for someone because
Well-
it's unusual.
Well, John, we're
Yeah.
exchanging gifts. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So when you make this, let's say
Mhm.
it's a normal day and we're all making this. When we get to that stage, when you just strained it,
Mhm.
do you let it sit first?
I do.
So
I
do you
just-
try to get it to room temperature before you put it in here?
because
Because
a
it's
little
hot.
It's
Yeah.
hot. Yeah. So I would put it to room temperature
Okay.
and then do it. But,
Okay, so it doesn't have to
yes.
be chilled. It can just
It
go to
does
room
not,
temperature.
no, but then after it's in the jars, it does have to be refrigerated. it
Refrigerated.
says.
And
Okay.
it's good for
Mhm.
how long would you say?
Well, I tell my customers to try to eat it after 2 or 3 months, but I found some in the back of our cooler after a year and it's still fine, but I don't know, you know, but it
Yeah.
tastes very goaty at that point.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's just, yeah, I mean, it really lasts a long time.
That is
Okay.
really, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
We could drink it.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, so it would make a perfect.
Yeah, and we can put one of the
Gift.
lids on.
And you've got little ribbons.
Mhm.
Oh, you
yeah,
got the
that's
cutest.
nice.
You got the cutest
Yeah,
little thing. It's
yeah.
got that little goat
got
on
the
the
little
top. I
goat
love
on
that.
top.
Some ribbon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And just make a little bow.
Hmm.
And then it makes a great gift.
That does.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that. We already have a gift.
Yeah, we
There you
do.
go.
It's ready for
I
our
love
bag.
it.
So,
Mhm.
oh, that's really cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Wow, that is
That is
wonderful. All right, well,
amazing.
we're gonna
Right?
we will
Pass this
bottle
over to our experts and bottle the
and
rest
we'll bottle the rest
for
of these.
gifts. Oh, yes.
It's hot on the
So
back.
we will have all the recipes up for everyone to see and
me put down for you,
from
Josie,
tonight's class.
Mhm.
And so we should be good with that. Here, I'll pass this down here
Alrighty.
Okay.
and pass
There we
this.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you might, I don't know if you know, but tonight's show, this is live. So whenever we're doing our things live, you know, it takes a little bit for us to clean up
It
here
does.
and there and
It's kind of behind the scenes that you normally wouldn't get to see.
that you
so-
wouldn't get to see. We let you see it. You're part of it. You are actually part of this whole thing.
And you
here.
see John uses paper towels just like I do at home.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That's what my mother did.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Swore by
Mhm.
paper towels.
All right.
Okay.
So now we're gonna get cooking with, I would say we're getting cooking with gas, but we're not. We're really not. We're going to be getting cooking with electric here because my place only has that. All right, we're going to start bringing some
Okay.
stuff in here.
All right.
All right,
Go.
this is probably one that you're all waiting for, thinking about. We all grew up with Old Bay. We use the Old Bay for absolutely everything, for crabs, for fried chicken, for fried oysters. Baked chicken.
Baked chicken,
What else? What else do you use it for? And you would be using your Old
deviled
Bay.
eggs.
Deviled
Did you say
eggs
that?
is very good one.
Deviled eggs.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
That is a totally good one too.
Yeah.
So you probably think, what is all this paraphernalia they have here?
Including gloves.
With gloves. I'm afraid, but this does make a really nice gift. We're going to be making Old Bay Peanut Brittle. You like peanut brittle? Anybody like peanut
I
brittle?
like Old Bay.
All right, good.
And I love anything with a caramel kind of base. So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So to do that, when you're gonna make brittle, what you want to do, one of the most important parts of it is get all of your stuff together.
Okay.
Because when it happens, it happens.
Oh, I've never
You-
made it
I've-
before.
I mean-
You,
Yeah.
you have absolutely no time
Oh,
to
wow.
do anything.
Okay.
Okay, so
right.
what I have in this lovely pot here so far, I have some water in here, and I have corn syrup in here. So we got the sugar, corn syrup, water, and some butter.
Butter.
And I did this a little earlier because we need to actually get this, you know, like to the soft ball stage, almost like a
Okay.
candy stage.
Right.
And that's going to be about 295 degrees. We can eyeball that, but we do have a thermometer to do it. So I'm getting that going because it takes a little bit of time. It's just like the Cajeta.
Yes.
You know, that was a caramel. This is almost going to a
Right,
caramel,
right.
but it's going past the caramel into the candy stage.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're actually making candy. So some of the other things that we could do, we have some lovely half sheet pans here.
Yes, we do.
And we have some of our famous pan spray. Now we have the industrial pan spray
All
here
right. Wow.
that you get from the restaurant.
Okay.
And, or you could just take some regular oil and do that there. So I'm going to spray my pan like a so.
Okay.
And there is a reason for this. Okay, so we have our two pans.
All
We
right,
can
we
put
do
one
right here.
kind of
Okay.
aside of the other.
Alrighty.
Okay, now. Over here, I have my Old Bay, so we're gonna mix that. So I'm gonna put about 1 tablespoon of Old Bay in here.
Okay.
And you can play around with this. We're going to be using about 4 cups of peanuts. Some people like this a little stronger than others. Some people want it to be really subtle, that you can barely taste it, but something's going on, but you're not sure what. So we have the Old Bay, and then I'm going to use like about a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you're finding that in a lot of desserts nowadays. Especially like a lot of Mexican ones.
Right.
You're going to get that sweet, but you're going to have some heat in it as well.
That in Cajeta.
You could.
Oh, you
Yeah, that would
could.
be
Yes,
neat.
you could.
Yeah.
So we have that. And then I have a teaspoon of baking soda in there. And then I'm going to take my vanilla extract. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon.
Another recipe that uses baking soda.
Yes. And I think, when you were just explaining what the baking soda does in the Cajeta, I think it's a similar thing here in the candy process.
Yep.
And because again, we are kind of making a caramel.
Right.
So we're going to I'll put that teaspoon of that in there. And so we just, basically what we did is we made a little slurry here.
Okay.
And here's so we just keep checking on this. You can see, as this is going to say, we're already in the syrup stage.
Okay.
And it isn't too terribly long after that we'll start to get to the softball stage.
Right.
And then a little bit harder than that. So, that's what we're looking for. So, Old Bay has been around for quite a long time. It was originally marketed by the Baltimore Spice Company. I don't know if you know that, which was down at the Inner
I
Harbor.
remember.
And the story goes that a lot of the tavern owners came to all the spice people that were down there, because all the ships came in, and it was a huge spice center for the whole country, came in through Baltimore. And so they wanted something to use for some seasoning, and they wanted to have it a little bit of spice. They wanted to have some salt. They wanted to have this. So the guys down there started making this kind of seasoning, and most of the seasons came from the bottom of the barrel. So the way they originally did it was just improvised. So they would throw a little of this, a little of that, a lot of salt, and some heat in there.
Right.
Well, then this guy, Gustav, Mr. Gustav, he kind of standardized it and started putting it all together. And if you ever look at the Old Bay can, there's quite a number of ingredients in it. It's a very kind of complex thing. And so what they did is he would give that to the tavern owners. They would use it and would steam the crabs. And then they would take the crabs and throw them all on the bar. And the crabs were free.
Oh.
They used them as peanuts. So all the guys that worked in all the canneries and factories up and down the Patapsco would come there, eat the crabs, and drink lots of beer.
right,
So they did it to sell beer.
God.
So that's actually how Old Bay started around here. And now it has become a ubiquitous thing there. So Mary, how about we get our little thermometer there that you got?
There you go.
And we'll see what we have going on here.
And what temperature are we looking for?
We're looking for
295.
about 295 would be ideal. Let's see where we're going with this. You want to put it in the middle. You don't want to put it on the bottom, because if you put it on the bottom, basically what's happening is, you got the heat on the bottom, so you're not getting a true thing.
It's similar to turkeys when you're roasting a turkey.
It is, yeah.
And you put it in, you don't want to put it in
the.
the bone because
We're getting
it's true.
close.
Getting close.
We're like about 250.
Okay.
So we just need to go up to 295. And you can see how this is, getting thicker and thicker and thicker. So what you could do is you can take, we could take I'll show you.
Okay.
We'll do this live right here on our very own show because we can. We can do whatever the hotel bill we want to, can't we?
Yes,
We can. All right. So what you can do is you get a little bit of cold water, like so. And then you stir that around. And then I'm just going to take a drop of it. See what it's doing?
Yeah.
It's turning into little squiggles.
Yep.
Right now.
And you want it to get
We wanted
into
to get
balls.
more to a ball
Ball.
stage. So it's getting close.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you don't have a thermometer, you can do this. Take a cup of cold water and periodically put that in. And when it goes in and it forms
around.
into a little
Yeah.
ball, you know that you're just where you want to be. So we're learning some things here tonight.
Because I always wondered when they talked about a little ball. I've never made candy,
The softball
and I'm like,
stage. Yep.
what it means. So awesome. I
Yeah.
have to practice that.
All right, let's put this thing back on here.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's get this back up and see where we're going. Oh, it's going up there now.
165, 170,
Uh-huh.
80,
260.
260.
Oh my God. Isn't it exciting the way that this works?
Watching a pot boil, yes.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Well, this is one of the reasons that we started this a little bit early,
Yes,
you know,
that's true.
because but it is this is a interesting recipe. You really have to have everything ready. And once we get to the correct stage, you have to do it right then. You can't really
Have to
be
move
hanging
quickly
out and
too.
say, oh, well, I'll do that a little bit later.
No.
Because what can happen if you go over that stage and we put the nuts in, everything will scorch and burn. Because again, we're talking, this is hot. This stuff is really, 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 really hot. And and you have to be careful when you're doing this too. If you get this on your skin, it's not a good thing. Yeah, this is getting, it's tightening up even better here right now.
Okay.
So we're almost there.
So our pans are ready.
We got our pans
gloves
ready.
are
Okay,
ready.
so
Okay.
does everybody have their forks?
Forks.
Okay, each of you get 2 forks. We have to have all these things together.
2 for you.
You get 2, and then if you hand me these gloves,
Okay.
there's- okay, so I'm going to put on some of the hot handling gloves here.
Okay. And why are they hot handling gloves?
Well,
What are they
because
made
I'm
of?
going to use my hands to pull some of the brittle.
But they're special
What makes
material?
them hot handling? There's special
Gloves?
special
Yes,
material, or
it's
are
a
they just
special,
cotton?
it's a special material.
Ah.
And then the other thing about said special material, if
It's
this,
inside out. You might
is
want
this inside out?
yeah, flip it.
Okay. Make sure you
Um,
put them on the right side.
Right side
Right side
on,
out.
right side on, are we
Yeah.
there?
Okay.
Nope.
Did it?
Other way.
Come on, flip around, flip around.
Yep,
There.
that
Yep.
way.
We
There you go.
used these
Yeah.
earlier today to make the first batch of peanut brittle. And
There you go.
okay,
Okay.
so anyway, this absorbs some of the heat. And then
Okay.
you put these on over top of it,
Ah.
and then it just helps you not lose
Protect
the
the
skin of your fingers.
Yes.
That's important.
It is
Yes,
a
hurts.
it is a really, really important thing to not lose the skin of your fingers. So,
So notice John has the gloves. We have the forks.
Yes, we have four.
but you know, I was looking, you know, I checked with some other people that make the brittle, and so many just use the fork
Yeah.
and they don't even
Right.
bother with
Right.
this.
Wow.
And I thought, well, we can show a
Right.
couple of different things
Right.
here.
Okay.
Right? All right, let's check. We'll do one more check here on our thing here. Shut that off, and now we'll turn it back on. 1, 2,
Looks
3,
amazing.
4, 5. Okay, here we go. I think we must be getting
Yeah.
pretty much close to this stage here because it's looking like it already.
Okay.
Ah, da-da. Well, you know, when you're making these gifts, like what Pam just made, and
Mhm.
up we're there.
All right.
Okay.
You know, they are labors of love.
Oh,
They
they
are.
are.
I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
really are.
Yeah.
They really, 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 really are.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we're going to remove this from the heat,
Okay.
like so. Shut this off,
Mhm.
and then we are going to stir in. All right, get ready.
Okay. All
'cause
right.
This is,
Do you want a
this is going to be
spoon?
scary.
Okay.
We're going to put it in our
All right, we're
peanuts.
ready.
Okay. We'll start stirring those
Okay.
in. And see, as we're putting that in, this is cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm going to put this in. And so once all of our seasonings and things go in there.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
watch that bowl there.
I'm not sure.
We
Do
can
need
get
to
rid of
stop?
that. We don't
Okay,
even
We
need
can get rid of
that.
that. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm stirring that in there right now.
It's getting thicker
Yeah,
and
it's getting
heavier.
I
thicker
can
and
smell the
gooey.
Old Bay and the
But I can smell
cayenne.
the butter. I can
Smells
smell
so
it. Oh,
good.
it smells so good.
Oh.
Pull that over there like this.
Yeah, it really looks like it's hard to stir and get all.
But this is a good
combined.
workout for your upper arm.
It is,
Exactly.
it
You know,
is.
you know, just saying.
Yes.
Think of all the calories you're burning before you eat the calories.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
I'm always thinking that way.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so now we're just taking this back,
Okay.
putting this back on
So you
like
put it back
this.
on,
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna put it
Mhm.
back on and
Make
just
it-
kind of bring it up
Right.
almost to a boil again.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're ready to just,
So this is making it
Okay.
easier
Let
to
that
work
thing-
with and it'll
Yeah.
spread.
Okay.
so now we also, I might as well, while we're here and waiting that to come up the bowl, let's pull in some of the ones that we did a little bit earlier.
Oh, look at this.
So you can get an idea what's gonna happen.
Oh. I was going to say something silly like this looks professionally
Yeah.
made. And I think it is, John.
Yeah.
Look at that. So we actually made some of the Old Bay earlier, and I'll keep on doing this, but while we're doing this, we can get the other part done too. So we have some tins that I think that Josie has lovingly prepared for us tonight. All right, great.
They're
So
beautiful.
anyway, so we just got some decorative, kind of holiday tins,
Look at that.
and you can do
Nice.
bigger, smaller,
Nice.
whatever.
Mhm.
And let me do this so I'm not burning. I don't want to burn up my.
Smells good. I see it
Mhm.
Can you
bubbling.
smell it bubbling? Here we go. We're bubbling.
It's bubbling.
We're bubbling. So just keep turning that.
Okay.
So anyway, once we have spread this out on the trays, you let it cool.
Right.
Just about to room temperature. You could put it on like one of those baking racks,
Mhm.
Okay.
just so it's cooling
Okay.
underneath. But then it gets to this stage and you can see where we are with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo, look at this
Is
thing.
it ready?
Oh my
It's-
gosh,
it's
that's
just about ready
amazing.
now.
That looks beautiful.
it's
I better get
yes.
ready.
It's getting
Put my little
ready.
box
We're
here.
getting
Wow.
ready.
Okay. I assume this is why I need a fork, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna spread it
We're gonna
out.
spread it out.
We're gonna spread this thing
Spread it
out.
out. I need to hold my fork the right way.
Mhm.
Spread it out.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm just about ready to
Mhm.
start taking some of this and putting this
Okay.
onto the trays.
All right.
Let me turn this off.
Yeah, I want to shut that
Okay.
off.
It's heavy.
It is.
Oh my gosh. that looks-
Okay, you can start working
Okay.
that one.
All right.
So we just spread it, right?
Grab one here.
There we go.
Start spreading this one here.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, come on, Harry.
Okay.
We gotta.
We can do
hurry
it.
up.
We can do it. We can do it. I got it. Okay.
Oh, you're doing it. Oh my God, that's
So
so
we're gonna make
good.
Oh my gosh.
Thin enough so that it doesn't.
Yeah. So it's not like
Yeah, it's not clumpy, but
clumpy, but it's
also-
thinning.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
it's
you
supposed to be
like it.
brittle.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
like
brittle?
it to be brittle, but you want it to be not
Thin
too
brittle.
thick,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Mhm.
You almost want to be able to see through it
Yep.
when you break it
Mhm.
apart.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and different people some people really like a thick peanut brittle,
Mhm.
but I think ideally
Mhm.
what we want is like,
Okay. Look. Good
We did
job.
it.
all right, come on, guys,
Okay.
All
let's
right,
keep on
let's do
going.
it.
Okay.
See,
Oh, you
like
can
with the
use your
gloves,
hands. Yeah.
like with the gloves, you
Okay.
can
Mhm.
just go like
Is it
that.
sticking to your gloves?
Not too bad,
Okay.
not too badly,
Oh.
See, I
but
like
it is
thin.
hot. I mean,
Oh,
it is,
yeah.
it is
Yeah, I bet.
unbelievably hot.
Mhm.
Well, what was it? 295 we got it to?
It was about 300 degrees.
Oh my
And
gosh.
once we put those in, then it gets really,
Yeah.
really
Oh my
hot.
gosh.
Oh, it
This is actually
smells
kind of
so
fun.
great,
It is,
though.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And once you've done it, I've been through the period of learning this thing and you get to it and you scorch it.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Cajeta
Okay.
and you say, oh
I
my
know,
God.
all that work and then.
But
boom.
once you get the hang of it,
Oh, yeah.
You can
it's
do it.
actually really, really easy to do. So this is the Old Bay Peanut Brittle. We let it get a little bit
It's
cool,
beautiful.
which we will do now. We'll send this
Okay.
over to our,
Is it-
I'll take
you
it
will
over
take
just
it,
in case
okay.
it's too hot.
to our cooling stand.
To our
Yes.
cooling stand here. Take those there.
Mhm.
and then we'll get back our little things here that we have. Opa,
Maybe
Oh,
sink.
yeah.
Okay.
that's great.
Here's our gifts.
There we go. Here's
And
our
I'm
little
already
gifts.
picking out a pretty bow for these.
So
Okay.
take a look. So once I had it on the tray,
Mhm.
you know, I broke it a little bit, but you could use like anything, you know, like the back of this to just
Ooh,
hit it.
all right. That
And
worked
then,
great.
then it breaks into just little pieces.
Okay.
And then you just start
Oh my
layering that in there. I mean, you could break a lot of it just by your hand, but you usually just tap it. And
Have you ever put it like in a Ziploc bag and lightly tap it like with a rubber hammer?
you could do
You
that
could do
too.
that? Okay. I love getting anytime I can get my rubber hammer out, I'm happy.
It's always a good thing, isn't it? So anyway, this is, again, really an easy,
Yeah,
I mean,
love it.
it's such
Oh
a
my gosh.
nice
Mhm.
gift to give.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is addictive. It is
Mhm.
terribly addictive. And while I loved making it and while I've loved having it, I can't wait to get it out of my house
Sure.
because it's a little bit addictive. I
Yes,
keep
okay.
going back to it over and
Mhm.
over again. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We have
It's beautiful.
our official Old Bay Peanut Brittle.
Nice.
I love it.
Yay! Okay,
Okay.
gloves off. I'm taking the gloves off
Gloves
now.
off. All right.
Ah, darn it to the devil. We're gonna give it. All right, so
Okay.
so now Mary and Pam
Yes.
are gonna sing some holiday songs.
Okay.
While while we switch everything here.
Okay. How about if we dance instead? That I
All
can
right,
do.
we could maybe do a little dancing. We're gonna do something like that. And then we'll maybe eventually at some point be able to get the peanuts off of my, I think,
You're
or it may be
This is
a
really John
forever
stove.
thing.
Yes.
And it'd be
You have
something
peanuts forever.
forever. It'd be something to always remember. Okay, so now we have more pots. We don't stop with our pots.
No, we don't.
Okay, so I should have a big, oh, I have that pot here.
Oh, yes, you do.
I was waiting for you.
I'll get the red pot.
So
Move the red pot.
been working all day on this.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Okay, so another great thing to do
Mhm.
for the holidays. And Pam, I don't know if you get them, but I get them all the time. People give me preserves
Oh, yes.
every year,
Mhm.
you know, so I get all kinds
Don't
of
touch it.
blueberry preserves and
Yep.
strawberry preserves and
Strawberry
peach,
rhubarb.
strawberry
Yeah.
rhubarb and
Uh-huh.
peach. And I love them. I
Yeah.
honestly God, I
too.
love them. And I keep them in, you know, in my pantry and then I take them out because I have
Mhm.
toast every morning,
Yeah.
you know, with brown bread and lather it on. And every single time, every morning that I do it, when I'm putting that on, I remember that person.
Yep.
I swear to God, I do.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
such a nice
Oh, it is.
thing. It
It is.
really is.
Mhm.
So I thought, well, what else can we do besides, you know, I mean, yeah, we could do blueberry stuff. And I thought we'd try something else. So today we're gonna make ourselves some apple butter.
Nice.
So does that sound like
It
something
sounds
that we should
wonderful. I
do?
love apple butter.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I like it myself. So
Mhm.
let's get our apple butter recipe out of here.
Okay.
So obviously we need apples, right?
Yes.
And you can get, you know, like a combination of kind of tart and sweet.
Mhm.
I go to, as you all know,
Mhm.
the way, you know, the 32nd Street Farmers Market, and I hang out with Dave Hockheimer from
Mhm,
Black Rock
mhm.
Orchard.
Yeah,
So I just go and say to him what I'm going to make.
right. And he
Tell
picks
me
you-
what,
oh my
and so
gosh.
he picks the apples for
Mhm.
me.
Nice.
So to do this is not like rocket science. You're basically getting apples, and I'm using about 4 pounds of apples. The nifty thing about, you can do it different ways. You could peel all your apples, you could core all your apples, you could dice all your apples, and then just cook it in a pot.
Right.
Well, that's something. But if we're going to do it the old fashioned way, and the way that I think is really fun, is you just take the apples,
Mhm.
stem, core,
Oh, wow.
the whole kit and caboodle, and quarter them. That's all you have to do. Quarter 'em.
Oh.
So you take about 4 pounds and you just quarter them. So that is not a very difficult thing to do,
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
No, it's not quite. So basically, what I did with this particular thing that we have here, I just put the apples in there.
Mhm.
And I put a little bit of cider vinegar, just a touch, just to give a little bit
And
of
that
acidity.
acid to bring out
And
the
then,
flavor.
and then
Mhm.
some water. You could use water or apple cider. So I took like and made a 50-50 thing of water and apple cider. So I did this ahead of time. And as you can see, I basically got them like really soft. You know, they're just really, 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 really soft here. So what I'm going to do is just take these lovely apples
Mhm.
and we're going to put them into this bowl right to here.
Okay.
Get all that goodness in there. And then we have our handy dandy.
Whoa.
I don't even need the bowl now because I came up with a scaling grilling idea again.
A scathing, brilliant
That's all
idea.
we do.
Okay.
Food
So
mill.
this is a food mill, ladies and gentlemen,
I've
a
never
food
seen
mill.
one
That's a
before.
nice food
And
mill.
Is
Yeah.
it-
Yeah, the food mills, they have different size
Yeah.
grates here that you're seeing on
Okay.
the bottom.
Mhm.
A
Cool.
coarse one, a medium size, and a very fine. So I use the medium for
Right.
that.
Okay.
And you can see it just thing goes around like that. So the nice part about that, if you didn't feel like standing there peeling, coring, and slicing and dicing all
Right.
those, you don't have to.
Yeah.
We put it in the pot,
Right, yep. And it's
we
a
get
great
it all
job.
mushy,
Yep.
and then in it goes
Yep.
to our
Mhm.
handy dandy food mill.
Wow.
So here we go. So you just take it, this thing
Wow,
just,
how fast that is.
Oh, yeah.
it,
Whoa.
Yeah.
it just gushes it
Yeah.
all
Yep.
right through
Yeah.
there.
I have my grandmother's food mill. It's
Do you?
definitely
Do you?
not as nice
Oh,
as that one.
wow.
That's very cool. So you just keep pushing down on it and just
Cool.
stirring around like this. So we just keep pushing as much of the
Juice,
solids
yeah.
through it that we can.
Mhm.
And of course, it'll keep the peels in here.
And the
It'll
seeds and all
keep
that
the-
above.
the
Oh my gosh,
cores
it's
and
brilliant.
all of
Yep.
that. And you just keep pushing that straight on through.
Mhm.
Come on.
If any of my family's watching, you can put this on my Christmas list too.
They really are cool.
They are. I think
I
it's
love
awesome.
them.
Yeah,
I really
food
love
mills
them.
And I
Right.
make apple butter all the time.
Oh,
I do.
nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This
that
is
would
great.
be great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can use this to make applesauce. You can use it to make so many
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
You really
Gosh.
can.
Now, what's the difference between this and a potato ricer? Are they similar or are they totally
They are
different?
similar.
Yeah.
They are similar, but
I don't have one of those.
yeah, the
but-
texture of it, of the
Mhm.
of what
Mhm.
comes through
Okay,
is more coarse
right.
and like this.
Yeah, it's longer. or
Longer.
something. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those either, but
Mhm.
no, I don't want one of those. So don't put
No,
that on those.
Mary just wants the
Yeah.
food
I
mill.
just
Yes.
want this.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
They're lovely things to have.
Mhm.
I just went up to the restaurant storage area
Mhm.
that we have a separate storage area and they sent me up for the food mill. And so I took the elevator up and I'm going, I'm going to go up to the food mill and I'll grab it and come on down. So what happened is I got up there and I had no idea that the food mill was like this big
Oh.
and it sits in a cast iron
Oh,
holder.
right. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so I had to go down and get the cart to get that thing down there.
Oh, my
But you
gosh.
know, we're usually doing like cases and cases
Cases
of
of
apples all at the
apples.
same
Yeah.
time. So anyway, we can food mill, let's say forever,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
right now let's make believe like we did all those kinds of things.
Mhm.
So some of the things that we're going to get now for the rest of this thing is we need sugar. So
Okay.
the recipe that you'll be getting, and then you'll see it calls for like 3 to
Sugar.
4 cups of sugar.
Right.
So I just, right in here, I have about 3 cups because I find it can get a little too sweet for me.
Yes.
Mhm.
And, you know, so I figure you can leave a little out
Mhm.
and we can always put some back in, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to take that and push that through there. And then we have some other lovely things to put
This
in
smells
there.
very pretty. I don't know what's in it,
Mhm.
but I like the
Mhm.
spice sort
Well,
of.
we have cinnamon
Uh-huh. I can smell it. Mhm.
that we're going to put in there. We have allspice, ground allspice. We have cloves.
Ooh.
I have some freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Mm. Can't go wrong with that.
And I have actually some lemon zest.
Yeah.
Oh, I
In
never
there
thought to
too.
put that in my apple
Yeah.
butter.
And this was a little bit of just a touch of the apple cider
Okay.
vinegar.
Mhm.
So I'm going to take that and we'll put that on another high thing here and just stir this around. And you can already get some of the aroma
Oh, it
on this.
Smells
so
good.
You know, they often call these, and we think of these spices as the holiday. They call them warm spices.
Mhm.
So they could be used in mulling, they could be used in cooking, they could use in cookies, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But they're things that we're used to kind of just smelling
Makes you feel good.
and it does, it just makes you feel really good. So could you stir that for me for just 1 second? While I try to get about a half a pound of sugar off my hand. Yeah. Okay, so basically, now again, this is very similar to the Cajeta. Again, we have a lot of things that are going on and, you know, that are, it takes a long time.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
You were telling me that you do an apple butter that takes how long?
36 hours.
Oh,
is
wow.
what I do.
hours,
In my
yeah.
slow cooker.
We're not giving you the 36-hour version. So basically what I do at this point is bring this back up to a simmer. And you could do it on the stovetop for several hours. But what I do is I put it into a preheated oven at 325 degrees in one of these heavy deal pots. And about every 20 minutes, I just pull it out and give it one stir.
Right.
And then let me show you what happens. We have a actual finished one right here. Let's get rid of the Old Bay. We don't put that in our apple butter. So right here, boom, we have this in.
Oh, look how
Here
dark
you
and
go.
beautiful that is.
Let me throw this over here.
Wow.
And so here we go. Like a really.
Beautiful.
So it does look like butter.
Oh.
You could just, you know, heat that up a little
Yeah,
bit if you
that
want to
turned out nice.
before. But basically, you know, you have this apple butter that you just, again, like you did, just spoon it into jars, wrap them up, and you have the whole thing.
Oh, yum.
So anyway, this is just a few ideas. There are so many different ideas. And as you saw when we took our little tour of the farmers market, we have great farmers. We have great artisan food makers. They could be at farmers markets. They could be at roadside stands. They could be at small shops in your towns. They could be all of those different things. So it gives you many different ideas of how you can celebrate the holidays with your family, with your friends, and sometimes give part of yourself or give part of your community. So, you know, there are a million ways. And Mary and I were talking about, we just had Giving Tuesday, and the Harford County Public Library has foundation.
Yes, we do.
So if you don't feel like it's too cold to go out shopping, or you're worried about the supply chain, that's something you can do. We have a foundation that we send people, young people, to go to culinary school, and it's through ourcommontable.org. And we have a few kids in culinary school right now, and so it's a pretty cool thing. So there's so many ways that you can give gifts, and I was just so, you know, grateful that we had that time that we could go to the farmers market, because one of the beautiful things for me is like visiting with people like Pam, like all the different farmers and growers that we know, because you get to know them. I know Pam, I know her daughter, I know about so many of the other of the families. So again, when I told you that jar of preserves that we got, somebody gave me, it has double meaning because they made it. And I knew that their product came from Pam. So you think about it. So it's just this beautiful win-win for our hearts, for our local food economy, for our pocketbooks, for the whole thing. So anyway, I think that, you know, we have definitely, there's a way to do this, and you guys have really been helpful to show us that way.
And one of the best parts about this, everybody wants to be connected with somebody right now. You know, we're looking for that. So doing the three of us working on this together, I'm standing here thinking this would be a fun Saturday before the holidays, you know, to bring your family or your friends in and to make this together as as an experience, because
Exactly.
we're looking for that.
Exactly, like when we do cookie baking for the holidays. And my sister and I always get together, and that's another whole thing that you look forward to.
Yes.
It's part of the tradition. It's part of the camaraderie
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
spending time together, slowing down.
Mhm.
And God knows we got to slow down for the Cajeta,
Oh, yeah.
and we have to slow down for the other things. So it's like this Zen thing, and
Yep.
it's just.
Mhm.
So anyway, we want to, all of us here at the Chesapeake Farm and Beta Table, want to wish all of you everywhere over the whole Chesapeake
Mhm.
region a happy holiday
Happy
season.
Mhm.
And we're so delighted to be back for another
Yes, we
season
are.
here with Harford County Public Library, all the libraries in the state. We want everybody to watch this. And we do have some really cool shows coming up for the next 6 months. Next month,
Is
get out your accordion and get your lederhosen on, because we're going to Kraut Fest. We're doing everything cabbage, everything kraut, and why the kraut came and devoured Baltimore.
it did.
So we're going to be dancing. So get ready
Yeah.
for next month, and we'll meet you right here. So once again, happy holidays. We love you guys.
Happy
and
holidays.
We'll do this soon.
Okay.
But I think now.
Is from Nancy, and she would like to know, in your basket of apples,
Yes.
she noted that they were different sizes.
Yes.
And you mentioned that Dave, I think, from Black Rock picks them for you. Tell us what the different apples are.
Well, we have Gravenstein, we have Pink Ladies, we have Macintosh, had some Granny Smith that are already in there. And yeah, you could probably say, well, they're different sizes. Are they going to cook differently? It's not important with this particular thing. You're just cutting them in quarters. I mean, I guess if he gave us an apple that was this big, you could put it in eighths, right?
Right.
But the basic thing is that we're putting it in a pot, we're putting a lid, it has liquid in it. They'll just steam and stew. They're basically stewing. So
Right.
you don't have to worry. But the combination is an important thing.
It's an important thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So Joyce would like to know, what should you look for if you're gifting cooking lessons to kids, teens, and or adults? What should you look for when you're buying cooking lessons as a gift for someone?
Well, I guess it probably would be local people
Mhm.
that you know. There's a great cooking school in Hamden.
Mhm.
That's a wonderful cooking school. Let me see. I gotta turn all my things.
Are we on
off.
fire?
We might be. We may. Have
Are we
something.
smoking a little bit?
Sometimes we're things on fire. Yeah, but there are a number. I know, like at Pierpoint, Nancy Longo does cooking lessons.
Mhm.
Jerry Edwards
Yep.
does cooking
Yep.
lessons. You know
Yep.
any more?
Escola.
Escola.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there, check on the World Wide Web, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of local cooking
Yeah.
schools,
Mhm.
and you can usually see a lot of reviews.
Right, and the
from
person's
people.
interest, because sometimes, they'll have the different
Yep.
classes.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
that's Chinese
Mhm.
or
somebody only does
some-
Italian or
Yes.
something.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
know what you like, and then look for that. But we
Right.
have quite a good resource in our
do.
region.
And then in some of your locations, you might want to check with your community colleges too, because
Yeah.
often they have
Mhm.
at least beginner cooking classes,
Yep.
which is always a fun way to get started and find out what
Yeah.
you're interested in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is a good question. Does Gertrude have gift cards to purchase?
Mhm.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Joyce. Yes, Gertrude's does have great gift cards that you can get online at gertrudesbaltimore.com, or you just give them a call.
What's the name of your nonprofit again?
Our Common Table. So it's ourcommontable.org.
Thank you. All right, that was from Kristen. And Cynthia would like to know, could you use this and make, instead of going all the way to apple butter, make applesauce?
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
okay. So good question. I would probably not use the food mill for the applesauce.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you might be able to use a really coarse one, but
Right.
basically, if I was going to make the applesauce, I would peel the apples most likely,
Mhm.
core them. I wouldn't have to dice them, but I would
Mhm.
slice them into nice chunks.
Mhm.
Basically, you're cooking them down. You don't want to put a whole lot of liquid in it. It
Right.
doesn't take
Okay.
much. You're just kind of stewing them a bit
Mhm.
and then mashing them.
Mhm.
Or you could use an immersion
Submersible?
blender.
Yeah,
Oh, you
immersion.
could.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could pulse it in a like Cuisinart.
Yep,
Okay.
food
And you
processor
get,
kind of thing.
so some people like chunky applesauce and some
Mhm.
people like it really smooth. So you can do it any way that you like.
Right.
You can, I mean, sometimes I'll get a sweeter apple.
Mhm.
I put no sugar in it at all,
Right.
just a little
Mhm.
bit of lemon juice
Mhm.
and that's it. If you want to spice it, you could use some of the warm spices that we just used
Right.
and make a spiced applesauce.
Nice.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot of ways you can do it.
Okay, here's another question. Do you have recommendations for cookbooks to gift for this holiday season? My recommendations would be all of John's cookbooks, but and John, you may have additional ones you'd like to add to that list.
Oh my God. Well, you know, sometimes I like some of the classic ones. And, you know, if you know someone is getting into cooking and is really serious about it and loves it, some of the old Julia Child cookbooks are just great. And Jacques Pepin, some of the you know, the pillars of cooking, because they're techniques that you can use for every single thing that you would do. So, yeah, we could get fancy schmancy off the bat, but really, you know, getting some of these classic techniques again. And it warms my heart just to sit and read them.
Reading
I love
cookbooks.
them. I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah. The Garden cookbooks are
Are
really
really,
good.
Yes,
really
she's
nice.
wonderful. Yes,
Yes.
very good.
Yeah, so they're all,
Yeah.
they're all good ones.
And if you want a basic one, the Fanny Farmer cookbook, which has been around over
Oh,
100
right.
years,
Yes,
had
yes.
their second edition when they came out, and it's just a fascinating read.
Yeah.
Just fascinating, yeah.
Yeah, I have one of the original, I have one from
Wow.
like 1890 or 1890 that my uncle gave to my grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah. So they have been around for
They
a
have been
while.
around for a while. And if it's a really cold winter, you can cook through, cook through Julia Child's, like the movie did a
Right.
few years ago.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
That's it. So once again, we want to thank you all for joining us. Please join us for the rest of season 2 of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. And once again, happy holidays.